Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome to my hobby blog. First and foremost, I have a new setup. I finally got a table in my bedroom where my movies are, my shelves. So, hi. New setting, so that's exciting. I'm really happy with this table I got. It was free from one of my friends from school, and so I'm really happy now that I don't have just a white wall behind me. So I'll try and have the stuff on top kind of be the showcase area, just switching out box sets. I have the Vengeance Trails box set right there. I just finished that up. I don't think I'm going to do a ranking on them, but I really enjoyed most of the movies. I would say 2 out of 4 of them were really good. But today, we're going to be talking about a different movie, a very different movie. I haven't talked about a hardcore porn film in a very long time. And this one I chose because it was recommended to me by a friend of the channel, Will. He is a huge Abel Ferrera fan. And I'd heard that Abel Ferrera had done a porno at one point before he'd done Driller Killer, which I believe is his debut feature-length film. Because he'd done a lot of movies kind of before this specific movie. But this was kind of his way to give himself credibility as a filmmaker. Because he hadn't made a feature-length movie with a 35mm camera yet. And so he signed up to do this film here, 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy. It's also known as Nothing Sacred, which is kind of what the original title of this film was, but they changed it to the current title it's known as, because that one is a lot more noticeable, I guess. Nothing Sacred. That title's good. It's a lot more fitting for the movie. But 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy, I mean, before I even knew that it was Abel Ferrera who had done it, I was like, I want to see that. But I did have the commentary track on for this movie. I think I'm going to do that from now on with any porn films, because watching pornos on their own as movies is not fun, in my opinion. Sex World I discussed on the channel before. That one was okay. I mean, it wasn't really anything engaging at all. Malabemba was my favorite. I think 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy is now my favorite hardcore film. Because 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy basically has all these different vignettes from New York City around 42nd Street, which is where Abel Ferrera did a lot of his movies. Frank Henenlotter also frequented that street for his movies, and Basket Case, Brain Damage, and I'm sure, and I think Frankenhooker. Yes, I knew there was one more where he really utilized the setting of New York City. But this is another film based around that location. We have all these different porn vignettes, people having sex in the barn, people having sex in the apartments. We have a rape scene in this movie, which is very, I guess, great foreshadowing to the way that he would handle these type of sequences in his movies. And the audio commentary kind of discusses all of that, and it's really well explained. I'm not going to explain it as well, but basically he did not want to eroticize a rape scene just because it was in a porn film, which I really was happy that he did that. He also used lesbian sex in this movie and didn't fetishize it. And so that was another point that the audio commentary woman said. Her name is Sam Digan. I think I said that last name right. But she is a huge appreciator of Abel Ferrera and was talking about his entire career while during the audio commentary track, and discussing certain shots throughout this movie where he would reuse them later in a different movie. And at one point of the movie, technically movie but also commentary track, she discusses a movie idea that Abel Ferrera was going to do, which I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was going to be about the porn star Ed Holmes or Eddie Holmes. I don't know porn stars, so I don't know his name. But she discussed how Abel Ferrera and Christopher Walken were going to collaborate again and have this biography film all about this porn star. And she was talking about how disappointed she was that it never got made. But we still have really great movies like Miss 45, Driller Killer, Bad Lieutenant, Kings of New York. And I'm ashamed to say that I've only seen Driller Killer, and I did not like it at all. That was years and years ago that I saw it, though. I had the Arrow Steelbook. That was my first Arrow video release I had. And I just remember I watched it like 3 or 4 times just trying to get it. But I need to revisit it now. I need to pick it up again. I actually traded it to Will, who recommended this movie to me. And I was kind of like, yeah, I just don't care about the movie at all. I mean, I can see a great movie in this in regards to the story of our main character, I think is played by Abel Ferrera. He wields a drill and kills people because his downstairs neighbors are just playing punk rock all the time, really loudly, and it just causes him to go crazy and starts killing people. And there's that famous shot towards the end of the movie where he's drilling into the guy's head. It's the cover for Driller Killer. It's the very famous one. It's the one that was always used in the Video Nasties era as an example of, look at this trash that's in our video stores, protect the kids. But Abel Ferrera is somebody who now I have a deep respect for. I liked him. I've seen, Driller Killer, and I was like, okay, I can see why people like it, but I don't. And I just never explored beyond that. I've always been wanting to see Miss 45 and Kings of New York, because I'm a huge Christopher Walken fan, but I just never got the motivation to finally pick them up. And so watching this movie and not really knowing about Abel Ferrera, the director, the audio commentary track was a huge help for me. Some update thing. But this audio commentary track was such a huge help for me to contextualize why he made this pornography film. And he was referenced a few times in interviews throughout this audio commentary track where the recorder was like, yeah, he did not really view this as a movie he had done. It was just more of a stepping stone to prove himself as a film director. And so when he was older and throughout his life, he had 2 daughters, she says, and he was especially like, yeah, I don't even want to do interviews about this movie. I don't want to really talk about it at all. And it was around the late 2000s. This audio commentary track was recorded, I think, in 2019, 2020. But she talks about how there was a book all about Abel Ferrera that was coming out that was spanning his entire career, or at least the first 30 years, I believe. So up until the 2000s. And that was around the time that people finally figured out that he had done this movie, 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy, or Nothing Sacred. And so he finally agreed to talk about it and kind of just discussed, I guess, his methodologies and why he had to do it, all of that. But one thing that was surprising is that after that book was released and everyone was like, oh, Abel Ferrera did this, okay. He's been getting a lot of renewed interest. But the audio commentary recorder was talking about how she had found many, many quotes from the book from all the cast members, from the composer who did the music, who was a frequent collaborator of Abel Ferrera. And she discussed and quoted many, comments that they had, and how there was really only one or two women on the cast and crew when they were making this movie, and she said she was a little reluctant at first to do the movie because she was probably the only woman there, and she went on the set and started helping, and she found that everyone was very supportive. They didn't make it weird. This movie's cinematography, just to kind of hop from that point to what I'm about to say, is that this cinematography is a lot more beautiful and tasteful than a lot of pornography films, which I was really happy about, because I watched Summer Camp Girls recently for the first time because the slipcover was going out of print soon. I was kind of like, I can just resell it, if I don't like it. And so I got it and I watched it, and that movie is a whole lot more sleazy, in my opinion. But this movie was very just matter of fact, wasn't fetishizing everybody. There was a lot of, I don't know how to say this, but she described it as different Catholic themes that were done throughout this movie, with especially the incest scene, where the father, who is played by Abel Ferrera, he is in really bad old age kind of makeup, just kind of has a white hair, and it looks really bad. They look exactly the same age, the father and the two sisters, who are the, I guess, grandchildren, but the two sisters end up getting the father drunk. I think it is the father, not grandfather, but he gets drunk, really drunk, and they rape him. And they don't try to, make it, funny or, such a, full of shenanigans or whatever, as most of these movies would do when handling male rape. He did it very tastefully. He didn't make it sexy at all. It was kind of terrifying. It was a horror sequence, in my opinion. And the Sam Migan, or Digan, I mean, she was talking about how this was very much his way of showing what he can do with a thriller sequence and with a rape sequence. So again, I need to see the rest of his movies now, because I have a lot more to work off of, because I knew nothing about him beforehand, and I wasn't interested enough to actually do the research. So when I found out that he had done this pornography film before Driller Killer, which was his debut, I believe, it sounded interesting enough for me, and it was recommended to me, so I knew I would at least find it interesting, and I definitely did. I don't really have much else to say. I mean, I've been really kind of scraping for anything to talk about, honestly. I wanted to talk about this because I hadn't done a video in a while, and this is probably the best hardcore film that I've seen yet. I've only seen like 4 of them now, including this: Sex World, Malabemba, Summer Camp Girls, and 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy. And I can definitely say this one is the best one. It's the most interesting one. But, yeah. I'm really sorry if you wanted a deep dive into this. But I think I gave enough info that if you're interested, you should definitely seek this out. This is still in print, I believe, from Vinegar Syndrome. I love them, as always. So, yeah. Without further ado, the Arrow sale and the Blue Underground MVD sale is going on right now, along with the Roger Corman sale. There's a lot of sales going on right now. And so I bought a lot. So I guess that haul video will come whenever they get shipped. Well, they have actually gotten shipped now, which was shocking. Like within a day or two, they shipped. So those hauls will be coming soon. I don't think I'll do any other videos for the rest of the weekend, because it is Easter weekend, and I don't know if it's a sin, I guess, to review a hardcore pornography film on Good Friday. It is Friday the 15th, so hopefully I don't go to hell for that. But yeah, if you haven't seen this and you're interested in Abel Ferrera, definitely check this out. So thank you all so much for watching, and have a great Easter weekend.